Thinking about romance all the time is very draining. Welcome back to Is It Due to My Lack of Experience, the series where I, a self-proclaimed loser in the game of modern love, microanalyzes every single aspect of it because you're a virgin who gets no bitches. What other traits do you have? Well, today's episode is not really focused on like a specific topic necessarily. It's more so just like an update, just how I've been feeling lately in terms of like love and just everything that I've learned since starting this series. This series was just like your introduction to me, and like that's where majority of like my following comes from. Like a lot of people, when they tune in, they want to tune into the series. When's another episode coming? I just want to say thank you to everyone that's been watching, that's been like supporting, even with the other videos that aren't like series related. It's nice to have, you know, a little community around here. So let's give ourselves a round of applause. Let's give ourselves a hand. When I started this series, it was more so just me banking on the fact that like I have this really good idea and I just want to do it, and like I'm making it now, but like so much time has passed that I'm like, am I gonna do this series for the entirety of my content career? Like, is this gonna be something that like I am going to be doing like a lot? Because in the beginning, I used to put out like more episodes, of course, but like now I'm more so just putting out like an episode like here and there, like not as often as I was before, because number one, I'm really bad at being consistent, and number two, it's because like I feel like there's only so much that I can say. In the beginning, it was more so just me like fleshing out thoughts that I've had for so long, but like now I've pretty much said a lot of the things that I've always been feeling. Never had sex, like never had a partner, like like where do we go from here? Because I remember on one of the videos that I posted that's not series related, someone was like, oh, what happened to the series? Because I'm thinking, okay, like, is that what you guys really want? Like, you only want the series? Like, I know that there's people who are also interested in like my other videos, of course, but at the same time, like, even on my other videos, people are like, oh, like, I hope she never stops this series. But it's like, guys, this topic specifically, like, what else is there to say? Moving forward, the episodes will maybe be the, not experiences that I've had, but maybe just like the updates that I'm, you know, currently feeling, or just anytime I feel compelled to make a new episode, then I will, especially considering my thoughts on love and dating right now. That's kind of also making me feel like I probably wouldn't make an episode super often as the way that I would before, because even now, like, I'm trying to steer slowly away from romance. I just don't want to think about love and like my lack of that experience like anymore, because it's just so like draining just thinking about like, oh, what I don't have, like why my life isn't this way, why am I not having these experiences, all these things, and just like trying to have those experiences, doing certain things, and then like it's just not working out. Like there's just, I don't know, I just feel like there's so much better things that I could be doing with my life than thinking about romance 24/7. There are going to be moments where I'm like, damn, like some physical touch wouldn't hurt. But I think I don't want to think about it as much as I am right now. Like it's kind of like a force of like habit at this point. But I just feel like drained every time like I think about it. It doesn't even come from a point of like, oh, like I wish I had a partner, I wish I had this. It just comes from a point of like, okay, I've tried, I've seen what it's like out there, and now I'm just ready to just chill. Because people are like, okay, but if you don't have these experiences, then you should put yourself out there, you should try, That's what I've been doing as of recently. But now I'm like, after trying, you know what people don't talk about? I think romance and love is so draining when you're actively pursuing it. When it's just like happening to you like randomly, like you just met someone and now things are just, like happening, versus like actively like putting in effort to put yourself out there and trying to have these experiences. That's when it kind of gets like draining, because like you know what you want, but like you're just not getting that. After things like don't work out in certain situations, I'm just like trying to like be on to the next, which, yes, that's what you should do. Like you shouldn't dwell too much on situations that don't serve you, but also at the same time, when you're on this like track of like, okay, on to the next, let's see like what else we can do, like that just gets super like draining. I am not built for serial dating. That's what my recent experiences have taught me, is that I'm not built for serial dating. Like this whole thing of like pouring yourself into multiple people in hopes that it works out with one of them, telling people the same shit, like telling people the same like facts about you, telling people like what you do, your hobbies, who you are as a person, what you like what are your expectations, all these things. Like eventually, after, especially with someone like me who hates like serial dating, like who genuinely doesn't have the capacity to speak to multiple people at once, not even just like with like romantic relationships, even with like friendships. Like I think I used to be one of those people that was like, oh, I want to have like many friends, I want to have lots of friends, but like I don't have the capacity to like actively talk to multiple people. I wish I had that strength the way other people do, but for me personally, like I just don't. I'm not that type of person. It ties into me not being able to focus on a lot of things. I naturally, even with things outside of my personal relationships with people, like I can't put a lot of my focus into two things at once. It's just really difficult for me. I have multiple interests, but I don't have multiple like hobbies or things that I do, because it's hard for me to keep up with all of these things and like have time management and have the same amount of energy for each and every one of them. And I think that also pours into the like serial dating thing and just trying to, pursue like multiple people, is that like I just don't have that capacity. That's one of the things that I kind of want to work on for like next year, is like being able to have multiple things that I'm doing. I feel like it affects my self-esteem, the fact that like there's so many things that I want to do, but I'm just not doing them because I can't focus on multiple things at once. So it's like affecting how I feel about myself. I really want to post more videos and just like have more like content for myself, like for you guys, because it's hard supporting someone who doesn't post. I don't know how you guys do it, but like, round of applause for everyone. Let's just thank you for still supporting regardless of the fact that I post once a year. So yeah, so I want to post more next year, and I want to just put out more things that resonate with me, not just with my series. The series, again, is going to come every once in a while, but I want to focus more on other things, and then you'll see when those things come. I don't want to talk too much about it now, but I do want to post more. Look out for that, you guys. We're going to do it. Hold me accountable. We're gonna do it. I noticed that like I just put so much of my thinking towards like love and stuff, and not towards like other things, thinking about these people who aren't texting me back, when I could just be thinking about like my hobbies and my goals. In my past video, I talked about how like I hate Tinder and how like I'm never going back, which I didn't. I kept that promise, you guys. I did not go back to Tinder. However, I did try Hinge briefly. When you first download Hinge, right, because of the way that the app is set up, it gives you this idea of like things on this app are going to be more serious than the other dating app, especially with like the prompts and stuff. It's like, wow, that's actually a really cool way to have an idea of what someone is like without, having to like text them. Because I feel like on Tinder, you have to have like a bio, which most people don't even do, by the way. They give you like interesting like prompts and like topics so that you can, tell a little bit about yourself in a maybe non-conventional way. So there's many ways that you can like, come across as a better person than you would on Tinder. That's one of the things that kind of like excited me about it when I first got the app. I was like, wow, like I really like the way that it's set up. Like it really just makes it feel like, okay, this is like a serious place to be. Like this is where romance begins. Like, no. After some time, like you'll see that it's more or less the same. There's nothing super different about Hinge versus like Tinder. Like it's just you know what? Actually, no. Tinder is still shit from the butt. So one of the things that came from my Hinge era is that I actually went on a date. I went on a date with someone and it was cool. Like it was a nice experience. Like the person was like really cool. Like in the end, it didn't end up working out, but like either way, it was still really cool. And me and this person, we did kiss, right? We did kiss and it was cool. One of the things about being fairly new to like the dating scene is that you don't really know what certain things are supposed to feel like or what it's supposed to be. I feel like because I've seen so much happening to other people and from the media that I've consumed, I'm unable to like let myself fully like experience things. I'm always like viewing them from like a third lens. What is this supposed to look like? Is this similar to what I've seen? Is this similar to what I've heard? It feels like I am like a third person like watching these events happen. I don't even know like how I can't even, because I mean I was a little intoxicated, so I was not sober during this. So I feel like maybe that's part of the reason of like how I felt. But like, I don't even know how I felt. Like it was all kind of like a blur because I can't even like remember what was going on. I know what happened, but like, do I? I know the kiss definitely wasn't bad, but was it great? I don't know. Is my opinion on it partially is it partially influenced by the fact that I was under the influence? I need to experience a kiss sober. You don't have a lot of experiences to compare it to, so maybe you might feel like, okay, this was like cool, but like you haven't really, been around that much to feel like, okay, no, this wasn't it, but like this is like better. A part of me was like, does it feel good right now because I'm just happy to be kissed? Or does it actually feel good? Even like while it was happening, I wasn't really there, and I was just trying to make sure that like, okay, this isn't like the worst thing that this person has like experienced. I was just like being chill about it, going with the flow, but also in my mind I was like, oh wow, like I can't believe I'm like kissing someone right now. Like it wasn't like like I'm super into like this moment. Like I was still thinking like, I'm like kissing someone right now. Like what the fuck? Like whoa. I was like talking to a couple of people, and there were some people that like I was, that I was interested in. Some of these people, right, they'll talk to you and they'll make it seem as if like, wow, like you're this like, or maybe I'm just the one who's over romanticizing things. Like people will like text you and it'll just be like this great like back and forth like banter, and you're like, wow, like this is so cool, this is fun. Like having like a fun text exchange with someone that you just started talking to, I feel like it's so rare. I think a lot of the times when you are talking to someone, it is kind of like basic small talk. It's not anything super exciting, and because of that, I'm getting used to that energy of like, okay, like we're having this fun banter back and forth. Maybe the next day will come and the banter, like that spark is just not there anymore. When you are texting these people, they really do like hype you up or like hype up the situation and make it seem like this is gonna be something. Like they either compliment like how you look, about how like, oh, you're so beautiful, you're so this, shows that, or they like talk about like what's happening between you two. Like they comment on like the dynamic between you two, about how like you're really getting along, or like hinting at like potential meetups or just like hangouts in the future, just kind of like hyping up like the situation like as it's like happening, right? So then when it goes from that to like not texting back or like not being as consistent as you were, it's kind of like, oh, okay, like what happened. Because if the energy wasn't there from the very beginning and you don't text back, then it's fine, because like it wasn't that super exciting to begin with, so it's okay, it's whatever. But like when you do kind of hype it up like in the beginning, and then like now when it's time to actually put in some effort to like keep it going, people don't really do that. It's always when you want it to work out with someone that it goes wrong. But like versus like when you don't want it to work out, like when it's other people that like you don't really care that much about, they're the ones that are super like into it. But the ones that you actually do want, they're not giving you that energy, or like they do but like it's temporary and it doesn't last. Now I'm invested just for you to like throw it back in my face. I'm not taking it personally, people have their own lives, but also like maybe I'm just over romanticizing things and it's actually not that serious. So again, that goes back to why dating is just so draining, is that like there's just so much thinking that goes on. Like things can't just happen and you guys get together and you're together forever. Like it's always just like a... And I was also feeling like, okay, like am I pathetic now because I'm so consumed with like what this other person is doing and they're clearly like living their life? When are you allowed to get excited? People are always like, oh, you're accepting the bare minimum, you're accepting this and that. When can you feel like, wow, I'm talking to this new person and like things are going somewhere? Like when can you feel like that? When can it go from I just met this person to, oh, okay, this is something. I am a romantic, I do get excited about these things, and that's just what it is. Like I'll just have to deal with the inevitable hurt when it comes. I'm not gonna act chill now. Like I'm not gonna act chill about the fact that I think he's cute and we have really good banter. Like I don't want to be chill, because when I do get disappointed, I do feel like, okay, I just got excited too quickly. But it's like, but life is more fun that way. Life is more fun when you're just getting excited over the bare minimum. Like life is so fun and cutesy when you're just getting excited about shit that doesn't matter. I'm always gonna get excited about the fact that I'm talking to someone new, even if it's not that fucking serious, because majority of the time it's not. Constantly like beating myself up about the fact that, oh, you got excited too soon, that's not really helping, because I'm still gonna keep doing it. So even though I know what I want, should I also still be open-minded? I have a specific idea of what I want ideally. So when it's not that right away, I'm kind of like, like, okay, this person isn't like worth investing in. But also at the same time, maybe it's because I'm so like, I kind of have like tunnel vision in terms of like my expectations. Like, do I know what I want? Or I'm just not being super open-minded. Because I'm thinking like, okay, maybe it's not what I want it to be, because it's not supposed to be like that. Like, what if this is just like exactly what it's supposed to be, but because I have like this tunnel vision of like what I really, really want, that I'm not opening up myself to a potential different scenario. You know, for the most part, we're all adults here. And when you are an adult, when you are like a human being, sometimes you are gonna feel a little bit H word. I know that this isn't for me, but I'm feeling just a little H word. So let me just, keep it going for the fun of it. What do you do? Like what do you do in this dilemma? Because yes, you can sort out the problem yourself, but sometimes you want someone else to sort out that problem. I'm not a casual person in that regard. So I know that trying to pursue that is not going to work for me, because I'm not that type of person. I need to be comfortable with you. I need to know you very well in order for me to get to that point. I have certain songs that describe exactly the type of love I want. So whenever I start to feel myself settling, I have a designated playlist that I listen to that just reminds me that no, this person is not gonna say what James Blake is doing right now. Like, he's not gonna, like, this person is not giving that. Another thought that I had is that, like, the older I get, because I'm almost 22. So I'm almost 22, and as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that, like, I'm mourning the fact that I never really had a young romance. When you're an adult, there are certain aspects of dating that have to happen or that like are a natural part of adult dating that isn't always present in young love kind of dating. I kind of wish I had that like progression of young love to adult love. Like I think that like I want to start with like the young love in terms of like what it looks like and like what happens throughout that in order for me to like feel like I'm ready for like adult love. I feel like adult love sometimes is too much for me. Like I want to start out small, but I think that like that time is up now. I wish I had that opportunity to have that like young love, stupid romance that like is not gonna hold significance in like the next 5 years. I love the innocence of young love, and adult love doesn't really have that innocence because again, we're adults. Like that one couple in like high school that was just like together for like so long and you're just like, what the fuck? I wish I had that a little bit. I got clocked on Hinge. There was someone who liked my profile and they're like, girl, didn't you say that you deleted this app? Bitch, what the fuck? Like, first of all, don't clock me with misinformation. I said I deleted Tinder, okay? I've never had Hinge. I said I deleted Tinder, and I've never gone back to that app. So you can't clock me with misinformation. And also, just vibe. Like, yeah, I know, like, you see me and, like, you know me and, like, but just vibe. Like, why did you have to say that? Like, why did you have to kill the fun for a few seconds? Like, nothing of substance has come from me being on Hinge. Like, I think I'm just ready to like move on. Like, I think I've tried, I've put in a little bit of effort, but I think now I'm at that point where I'm like, you know what, girl, you have better things to do than to be like stressed out over people that don't really care about you and you don't really care about them either. I just don't want to be so consumed by it anymore. Of course, like, I'm always gonna be open. That's just what I'm trying to say with this video, and everything that I've learned from the past couple of weeks and months is that I want to shift my focus to other things and just learn more about myself and grow as a person. I want to shift my focus into more important things that fulfill me and make me happier than consistently checking some stupid app that literally does not fucking matter. Wait! I have an announcement. So in honor of episode 10, I decided that I wanted to include you guys in the episode because I know that you guys really love the series and you really love to be a part of the discussion. I want you guys to submit your own stories or experiences that you want to share with me. Be aware of the fact that if you are going to submit a story of some sort, it will be publicly talked about. So if you need to use some type of code names or change some details of the story if you need to, then feel free to do so because I will be sharing the story, but I won't be sharing your name. It will be very anonymous. Just take out any detail that you don't want to be shared out there in case someone that you know is listening and you don't want them to know the story, whatever. So yeah, there will be the link and you can submit your story. So it can either be a story about the experiences that you have and maybe you want to give advice, or it can be the experiences that you've never had and you've always been curious about and you just want to have someone to share these unsolicited opinions with. So you can literally tell me basically anything, just as long as you keep it to a short paragraph. Do not write me a whole essay on why you're a horny virgin. Just keep it short. Just keep it short, my love. Don't do too much because otherwise the video is just gonna get too long and I won't have enough time to read as many people's stories as I can. So you can submit your story, your experiences, or lack thereof. But I just want to include you guys for episode 10. So let's get ready. Send me your stories. Just share your opinion on like this whole aspect of either dating, sex, your experience, your lack of experience. It can literally be anything, just as long as you keep it to a short paragraph. And like, sorry guys, my cat is acting crazy.